Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Basic Dude podcast. I'm so glad you could join me here this morning. Happy Monday. I'm sorry that you have to drag your ass out of bed on a Monday morning, and the fun has to stop, and life must continue on, at least for the next 5 days. Anyway, thanks for being here again, and just want to give a quick little explanation sort of on the deal here. So Adventures of Dudeness is over. I just felt that it wasn't really going anywhere. I just felt that it was that it was the direction I didn't really want to go. My whole point to starting a podcast is actually to talk about things basic dudes care about or basic men care about. I'm not talking necessarily to those of you who are, out there eating 12 pounds of raw liver to gain so many muscles that you can't even wipe your own ass. Or those of you out there trying to start the next, BlackRock or, Amazon or Tesla or whatever. No, I'm talking to you basic guys who really just probably are getting ready to go do your, getting up early, going to do your job, or headed to drop the kids off at school, or, whatever basic, meaningless, well, I wouldn't say meaningless. What's the word I'm looking for? Mundane. The basic mundane stuff that we all do. So my job here is going to, number one, give you some perspectives on life, and number two, hopefully give you some tips on how to make that mundane life a little bit more interesting. That was kind of my whole goal. And really to kind of approach some real life help, life tips. We won't necessarily call it addressing mental health, because I think there's enough of that stuff out there, but it definitely will. The things I give you will help with your mental health without me saying, do this to fix your brain. So I'm going to keep it light, fun, sort of what I've been doing, but mixing it up a little bit. So anyway, just wanted to take a few minutes here to catch up and let everybody know what's been going on, what's been happening in my world, in my life. If you are following the TikTok or the YouTube channel, which, why aren't you? Daily updates from this 90-day challenge that I'm doing. My very good friend James over at the Keep Fighting podcast and Kilo Foxtrot Fitness, him and I were having a discussion, and I said, I'm a big fat piece of shit and kind of need to do something about it. And he said, well, I just happened to complete a course or some training on how to help people stop being a big fat piece of shit. And he said, hey, why don't we do this? And I said, I think this might be exactly what I was looking for. So James is kind of a mentor to me. He's somebody I look up to. And with that said, I think that might be the key on why I'm actually doing this semi-successfully, because I do admire him. I don't want to kind of let him down, right? This is not only is this for me, this is also for him. And when it comes to my personality, that's like one of my biggest characteristics is I do not like to let people down. It's probably what drives my fucked up anxiety that I have, and causes me to at sometimes act like a lunatic. But yes, that's something that especially people that I respect, I definitely do not want to let them down. I want to make sure that I am success. If I disappoint myself, I'm totally okay with that. I've disappointed myself many, many times in my life. I don't like to disappoint others. So this is probably, and because James is a friend, I think this is exactly what I needed to get my shit together. So he asked, hey, can you do this for 90 days? 30 minutes exercise, follow at minimum 30 minutes exercise, follow a diet, lose some weight, and just do it for 90 days for me. Don't tell me really what you're doing. Well, we do have a weekly phone call that we kind of discuss, like, triggers and downfalls and things that I'm looking to change and how I'm working on myself. And, it's kind of like a reflection on sort of what's been going on. So, we do that once a week, and, I have been recording myself, as you know, daily, doing daily updates on my, I don't want to say health journey because that's so fucking douchey, or weight loss journey. I don't know. I feel like it's such a feminine coined term these days. So I'm gonna say getting my shit together. I think that's like a good term for it. So, basically we do a weekly getting my shit together phone call, and discuss some things. But he asked, hey, can you take a picture of yourself to start, with or without your shirt on? Don't send it to me. Don't weigh yourself. And then in 90 days, I'm supposed to take another picture of myself in the mirror or whatever. And we're gonna compare the two side by side, like some real some real deal here. Some like those fucking commercials you see on TV and shit. But this is real. This is reality. This isn't some fly by night product that is you're gonna burn 120 pounds while you fucking sleep here. No, this is you have to actually do this. But yeah, anyway, if what I'm describing to you sounds like something that you're interested in, he again, he's in the Ohio area. I am not. So we're doing all this remotely, which is totally possible, which I think is almost like I'm the pilot program here to see kind of how this works for him. But anyway, he runs Kilo Foxtrot Fitness, so if you are in the Dayton, Ohio area, you can see him in person. If not, get a hold of him through his, he's on Yelp now, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can reach out to him through there and get started today with a program just like what I described for you. And let me tell you, the results are real, man. I feel better. I can move better. I can tie my fucking shoes again. And it's not hard. Like all this time I had in my head to avoid doing stuff like this because it was so fucking hard. It's not. I'm finding things that I enjoy eating. The water intake. You think it's like, oh, I don't like water. Listen, motherfucker, start drinking it. Your body is going to want it hard. You know what I mean? There's times where I'm craving water. Now, I add lemon juice to my water, just to keep it flavored or whatever. It has now become like an addiction. So, changing things, and this is all forming new habits, right? It takes X amount of time to form a new habit. And, you have to make ways of less friction, and you're going to fall. You're going to fail a little. But the point is to like own your shit, know that you failed, and change it, right, and move on. So that's like a whole deal. So head over there, see James over at Kilo Foxtrot Fitness, sign up for his program, take a very minute portion of your life, get healthy, get in shape, develop new habits, feel better, move better, just total life change. Absolutely 100%. Yeah, go see him. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Yelp, and he'll help you out. He helped me out. That's what he's there for. That's what he wants to do. He really does. If you listen to his podcast, he really does care about people. He wants people to be the best version of themselves, as do I. And I want to be the best version of myself or my family and my friends and me. So yeah, go over there, see him. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but there's sort of a lot to say. But so anyway, from there, yeah, I really appreciate all of the all of the views and everything that I've been getting on TikTok. That's really awesome. I really appreciate it. The podcast doesn't seem to be getting the same attention, but that's okay. Hopefully that'll come in time. It's a little hard to, this is long form stuff here. So this is kind of me regurgitating my thoughts out into the universe, and whoever stumbles upon it to listen and you gain something from it or not, I don't know, at least entertainment. I think I'm doing my job, even if it's a couple people listening. So I will continue to press on. But yes, check out the other stuff I have, YouTube and TikTok and my Instagram and all that stuff, and follow along with me over there. Let's see. So yeah, I've been doing these daily updates. It's been kind of nice, actually. It's like a way to, like a video journal sort of thing, but I'm sharing it with the world. And kind of sharing my positive thoughts and my struggles and my downfalls. And I think it's really helped. I think it's really helped all around. So I think even after I'm done with the 90-day challenge, I guess we'll call it a 3-minute vlog sort of thing. So I'm going to continue to do it even after, and kind of, maybe start to open up about some other things or other aspects of my life, which I've started to add in. But yeah, I'm really kind of digging that whole platform and the way we're doing things. Anyway, also Sundays, sporadically. I guess at this point I have to do a video because TikTok and YouTube won't let me live stream, and I could do it through Twitch or Rumble, but I don't feel like I have the following on there. So Sunday mornings, which I'm sure you've heard before if you've listened to past podcast episodes, I do men's morning coffee. Just 15 to 30 minutes of having a cup of coffee, bullshitting about my day, what I got to get done, things of that nature. And if I could have some people watch, kind of go back and forth. So yeah, I'm going to find, I want to do it from my phone, because I want to do it outside. The weather's starting to get nice and stuff, and I'm tired of being cooped up in the house. So, I mean, I could stream very easily from my desk setup, right? But that to me doesn't sound like fun. So, I want to find something else. So I don't have the followers. So if you could, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog to go ahead and head over to my TikTok and my YouTube and become a subscriber for me, so that way I can start doing live streams. That would really help me out, because that's kind of how I would like to do it. But for now, it's going to be 15 to 30 minute videos. So anyhow, God, I am just I thought I was going to be really well put together this morning, and I didn't really write too much stuff down. I had it in my head, kind of what I wanted to say and present or whatever, but I'm sorry. It just seems like I'm kind of fucking rambling on, like we're just regurgitating thought here. Okay, let's get into today's topic. I think I've done enough of the books. So I got a new book. There's a fellow on YouTube I follow. His name is Truthless. I just found him recently. He talks about a lot of the same stuff that I was looking for in my time of need, and has relatable content to sort of what I would like to do with the Basic Dude podcast. He talks a lot about addiction, mental health, journaling, just sort of like good life, like well-being type videos, like how-tos, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So I started reading. So book number 1 is done for the year, by the way. If like you heard before, or if you didn't, I'll reiterate. I came up with a plan for 2025. I've never been much of a reader, but really wanted to be. So I am basically giving myself a deadline forcing myself to read. And I finished book 1. Book 1 was Act Like a Man by Pastor Mark Driscoll. Now that book right there answered a lot of questions that I have had my entire life. I know I'm kind of jumping around. Just stick with me here. I promise this is going somewhere. It answered a lot of questions I had about masculinity. It answered a lot of questions about how I should behave as a father and a husband and as a man. And I had it's a very conservative book, so I'm going to warn you. Act Like a Man is free on realfaith.com, on his website. For his church, he is a pastor, just like I said, Pastor Mark Driscoll. So it is a semi-religious book, but very conservative ideas, which is me. I'm a conservative person. Not everybody has to be. That's not what I'm saying. And I will warn you, if you want to read this book, it can be triggering to those of you who have more liberal thoughts, I guess we'll say. Or the W word. I won't say it. Please don't hurt me. The W word. But just keep in mind that if you can look through that stuff, right? If you don't agree with those ideals, but you can look through that stuff, that he makes some very good points with very factual data that's all cited within his book. And yes, a lot of it is religious driven, mostly from the Bible. But it definitely answered a lot of questions for me that I've had my entire life. And a few years ago, I was just a really lost person. Just things hit me all at once. Now, mind you, I was already a stepfather and a father for 16 years already, 17 years, 16 years. So I was already a father and a stepfather. I've been a man for, 38 years, obviously. And, it answered a lot of questions that I had and really gave me some direction and changed my mind on some things that I wasn't doing and solidified some things that I was doing. And, it just kind of gave me hope. Finally, I found something that gave me the direction I was looking for. So if you're having a hard time, like trying to figure out how to be a man or what you should be doing, I would suggest reading that book. I really would. Again, I warned you, but I thought it was a great book, easy to read, and really broke things down nicely. And there's also a little study guide that goes along with it, so you can kind of, journal it. Yeah. That's even as a conservative pastor, he, number one, he wants you to get a journal and do these exercises at the end of every chapter. So, that's a very W word kind of thing, I guess, to quote unquote journal, I suppose, but I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion. But yeah, keep track of that stuff. And, it was a great book. So anyway, moving on. I digress. From there, I found, the second book I was going to read was Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, 12 Rules of Life, or I think there's more to it. And I started reading it, and I mean, I'm 23 days in here, so it's just a really hard book for me to read. I guess I'll admit it. I have no shame. Again, not much of a reader, but a lot of it was very difficult for me to understand. So I'm going to put that one back on the shelf for right now, and back to this fellow that I found, this Struthless fella. Excuse me. His book. So I found it on Amazon. It was like $13. It was delivered yesterday. I'm going to read it. It is called Your Head is a Houseboat. And it's like a guide to like chaotic mental health. And it looks pretty easy to read, looks entertaining, and again comes with a journaling prompt at the end of every chapter. So as I read that, I will give you updates on what I think and how it's going, and then give you a little bit of a review, just like I did with Act Like a Man by Pastor Mark Driscoll just now. All right, moving on. All right, so today's topic is men. We're gonna start. We're gonna start this from the beginning. That's what I decided to do. I had a bunch of stuff mapped out, which I still am going to. Like I invest a lot of time into this podcast. I already have my my podcast plan all the way done, all the way to week 52 of this year. Done. All my topics, everything I'm going to talk about. I hit it hard. I use my time very, very wisely. I spend a lot of time driving around, so I have a lot of fucking random shit rattling around in my brain, and I throw it down in my phone, and that's kind of how I design my podcast plan. So with that said, I now that we are changing gears to the Basic Dude podcast, I'm going to change a few things I wanted to do. There will be no more manly mashup, unfortunately, but I'll still be posting interesting videos, stuff I cook, things like, Frugal Fella and stuff like that. And I'll maybe interject that into other episodes just to give it a little more chunk. But yeah, anyway, yes, today's topic is men. I've noticed some things. There are some things going on in my personal life. Not me per se, but things that I have looked around, things I've noticed, things that I feel are not going good. Young men, I want you to listen up here. Older men that may be lost or feel lost, I want you to listen up. Ladies, if you're listening, I want you to listen up. I want you to take mental notes on what I have to discuss today. So I'm going to hop right in here, and let me start by saying I am a broken man. I am a flawed man. I am not a perfect man. However, I strive every day when my feet hit the floor out of my bed at the ass crack of dawn. I get up every day to live the best version of being a man that I can. I live to serve my family. I live to serve my job. I live to serve my friends. And I live to serve the world. And that, to me, is exactly what men are supposed to do. We are supposed to serve. Trying to cut my ums, by the way. Someone brought that to my attention. But anyway, let's get back to the topic here. We have a lot of young men these days, and I know I'm throwing shade, but I feel as an older man, it is my job to point these things out and help guide or teach, because, like I just said, we are meant to serve. They're rolling out of bed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're wandering upstairs or wandering out of their bedroom, more than likely from a house that is not theirs. And I'm not talking about people who have roommates, because I understand times are tough and economy is tough and money is tough. I'm talking about these men that haven't even attempted life yet. Okay, we're getting up, we're not getting up early. We're strolling out. We're throwing some pizza rolls in the fucking microwave. And I know this is a very stereotypical thing that I'm saying here, but you know what? I'm a fucking man. I can say it. I'm throwing some pizza rolls in the microwave, grabbing a Mountain Dew out of the refrigerator, cracking that bad boy open, and shuffling our fucking feet right back to our bedroom to take our first bong rip of the day and power up the old Xbox or PlayStation. And that's where we sit for the rest of the day. Till we run out of Mountain Dew, and then we're bitching at our mother to order us some more or go get us some more or whatever. We have no job. We have no direction. We have no ambition. The only thing in their head is, I'm going to be the next Twitch streamer. I'm going to make millions playing fucking video games. I'm gonna join the esports world, and I am going to be the next guy who's going to make it. So this is what I'm doing. I can't work a job. I just don't have time for that. Then that puts my dreams aside. Son, I got bad news for you. More than likely, it's not going to happen. And if your passion is playing video games, I'm totally okay with that. I really am. I own a game console. I don't play it much. But me, I mean, I'm doing a podcast and TikTok and YouTube, but all that's done in my spare time, right? My family comes first. Well, God comes first. If you're not religious, I understand, but I'm just saying in my world, God comes first, my family comes second, my job comes third. All my other bullshit, this podcast, YouTube channel, TikTok, all that shit comes pretty low. Pretty fucking low. Get your ass up. First of all, you know what I can't figure out? A lot of young men these days don't even have their fucking driver's license. How do you not have your driver's license? And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm just talking about some. There are some, but you know what? We need all of you to be successful. We need all of you to fucking launch. We need all of you to contribute to society, and set good examples. So yeah. Go get a job. Go get a job. Go get your driver's license. Clean yourself up. Contribute. And start working on your own life. Quit mooching off your fucking parents. So there's number one. Number two. We have these men. I'm not even going to say young men. I'm going to just say men in general. I call these men the cake and eat it too men. So here's what they do. They establish a relationship with someone, a serious relationship with someone, and then just one day they wake up and they say, "Well, I'm not really into her right now, so I'm going to keep her right here because this is my living situation, or this is where I'm at. But I'm going to go find me something new." Can't have your cake and eat it too. You're going to get caught at some point. Not to mention, that's about the most dishonest fucking thing. If you're a cheater, you're a liar. If you're a liar, you're dishonest. Men aren't liars. We don't need to be. We can own our own shit. If we do something wrong, we admit doing something wrong. But I think the key is not to do it in the first place. Don't entertain it in the first place. And yeah, I hear the fucking, I'm sure people are yelling at the radio right now, or whatever the fuck you're listening to me on, saying, well, she did it to me, or I'm not happy, or then get the fuck out. Get out. Don't be a fucking liar and a cheater. If you can sit down with your significant other and say, hey, this isn't working out, we're not getting along, shit's bad, that's honest. That's honesty. There's no need to sneak around when you're an honest person. You just fucking do what you need to do, and that's it. Number 3. These men who just wake up one day, they have a wife and kids, and they say, you know what, I'm not happy anymore. And instead of trying to work on things, see, that's the other part of number 2. Instead of trying to work on things, and I'm not talking like a 6-month relationship. I'm talking years with kids involved, a life established. I mean, they just get up and, well, I'm not happy anymore, and they pack their shit and they walk out the door. They don't put any effort into their relationship. Now, I want to say something here. In a relationship with example 2 and example 3 here, which is the cake and eat it too, and the I don't know, I guess we'll call midlife crisis number 3. You're in a relationship voluntarily. Nobody is forcing you to be into it. Why you do it is beyond me. But yeah, at some point you were in love with this person. You really liked them a lot. You wanted to have children with them. You obviously didn't mind, having sex with them, or sleeping in the same bed, or sharing the same roof, or, and then all of a sudden you just say, well, either I'm going to go find something else to fuck, or I'm just going to take my shit and I'm going to walk out the door without any warning. If anybody saw the meme that I posted yesterday, I am the man who always comes back with the milk. We need more men in this world that always come back with the milk. So, now you're leaving kids behind, and they don't understand what's going on, and it's hard for them. And I'm not saying that it's good for children to live in a household where mommy and daddy always hate each other. But for fuck's sakes, put a little effort into your relationship. Try to fix things. Things change, especially, listen, I've been with my wife for 20 years, since I was 19 years old. I started raising 4 kids when I was 19 years old that weren't mine. It's not easy. You change. Things change. You get older. I mean, situations change. But what's it worth to you? To me, it was worth a lot. She's worth a lot to me. I love her. This is the person that I decided I'm going to fucking do my life with, regardless of fucking what craziness goes on, So, that's an important thing to do, put a little effort in. Number 4. The man who didn't come back with the milk, we'll call it. We have, well, I'm gonna go through some statistics here for you. Let's see. So according to the U.S. Census Bureau, approximately 19 million children in the United States, nearly 1 in 4, live without a biological step or adoptive father in their household. This statistic underscores a significant issue as research indicates that father absence can negatively impact a child's development and behavior. For instance, studies have linked father absence to higher rates of behavioral problems, academic challenges, and increased likelihood of involvement with criminal justice system. It is important to note for the prevalence of fatherless homes varies across different communities. For example, in 2005, it was reported that 39% of African American children did not live with their biological father, and 28% did not live with any father figure, compared to 15% of white children without a father figure. These disparities highlight the need for targeted support and interventions to address the unique challenges faced by different demographic groups. Addressing the issue of fatherlessness involves promoting responsible fatherhood, supporting single-parent households, and implementing policies that encourage positive paternal involvement. Such efforts can contribute to better outcomes for children and strengthen family structures within communities. Approximately 12 million boys in the United States are growing up without their biological fathers. Father absence has been associated with various challenges for children, including high rates of behavioral issues, academic difficulties, and increased likelihood of involvement in the criminal justice system, which I already just kind of said. So the next one is approximately 30% of custodial parents did not receive any child support payments they were owed in 2017. 2015, about 43.5% of custodial parents reported receiving the full amount of child support due, while 69.3% received some payments from non-custodial parents. A study from the Urban Institute found that nearly 11 million fathers in the United States do not live with their children, and 2/3 of these fathers do not pay formal child support. The frequency of non-custodial fathers' contact with their children varies significantly. Approximately 1/3 of children in sole residential homes see their non-custodial parent at least once a month. Another 1/3 have contact less than once a month, with some seeing their non-custodial parent as infrequently as once a year. The remaining 1/3 have no contact with their custodial parent. So, kind of what I'm getting at here is the men who don't come back with the milk, you're basically, you had 50% responsibility in making another human life. It is your job to take care of that human life, or at least half of your job. And what we're seeing is that 50% is being dumped on the taxpayers through temporary assistance for needy families, supplemental nutrition assistance programs, and overall public assistance. You're not taking care of your kids. So not only are you not raising your kids, you're not paying for them either, which then gets dumped onto the taxpayers. So that means I'm paying to take care of your kids. This isn't what a man does. So the ones that don't come back with the milk, obviously they don't see their kids very often. They don't pay for their kids. So now we have a bunch of single mothers, a bunch of latchkey children that, yes, more than likely will have behavioral issues, will not be as successful in life because they have no one to guide them. They also have trauma issues because they don't have their father to protect them. All in all, not a good fucking situation. So I'm kind of done throwing shade. I'm sorry that turned into this, but I felt it was important to give my perspective on sort of what I see here. So let's now we'll change gears here, and we're going to hop into some thoughts that I've written down, and so a little bit of research I did for today's episode. Again, I'm not trying to diminish anybody, and I'm it's frustrating for me to see this because I see it a lot in my own life. I see a lot of men that are lost or don't know how to act or don't fulfill their responsibilities, and it has a huge impact on kind of everybody. So let's get into men as providers and protectors. From the beginning of time, men have taken on the role of providers and protectors, whether we're talking about hunters and warriors from ancient civilizations or fathers and mentors in modern society. Men have been responsible for building, sustaining, and defending their families and communities. And no, that doesn't mean men are just here to swing hammers and fight battles. Providing isn't just about money and protection, it's about physical strength. Protection isn't just about physical strength. It's about security, emotional, financial, and mental. A good man makes sure his family is safe, stable, and supported. Men as leaders and builders. If we look at history, you'll see that men have been at the forefront of shaping civilization. They've built societies, governments, businesses, and infrastructure. This isn't just about power, it's about responsibility. Leadership isn't about being the loudest or the strongest. It's about guiding, making sacrifices, and setting the tone for those who follow. And leadership isn't limited to CEOs and politicians. Every man has a leadership role in his own way, whether as a father, a coach, a mentor, or a friend. Your presence, your discipline, your wisdom, those things matter more than you realize. That's very true. It matters a lot. It matters to a lot of people. We, as men, are meant to serve. Men as role models and mentors. One of the biggest things we need more of today, strong male role models. There's a generation of young men growing up without positive examples of what it means to be a man. They're looking for guidance, but if they don't find it in the right places, they'll get in front of the wrong ones. They'll get it from the wrong ones. Men, we have a duty to step up. It's not just for ourselves, but for the next generation. Whether you have kids or not, you have the ability to influence, teach, and inspire. A man who leads by example, who stands for something, and who takes responsibility, that's a man who makes a difference. And every day that we get out of bed, that should be our main mission. How are we going to make the world a better place? There was a show that came on around the Wu Flu on Amazon Prime, and I think it's still on there. What was the name of the show? Oh God, I'm gonna have to hold on one second. I'm gonna have to look it up real quick. It had Rainn Wilson in it, and John Cusack. Not that I'm a huge fan of John Cusack, but I did enjoy the show. Let's see. It was about basically John Cusack played a supervillain. He played basically like a supervillain, and they were infecting children through their lunches. And it had kind of a so it was called Utopia. Yeah, that's what it was. And it was kind of weird when it came out because it was right around during the pandemic. So it kind of freaked some people out. But anyway, John Cusack is sitting at the table with his family. And I think this is something to say to yourself at the end of every day, and I think it's something to maybe say to your children. And they're sitting at the dinner table, and they all go around, and man, I love this. I talk about this all the time. I love this example. As much of a bad person he played in this show. Whoever wrote this in the script is fucking brilliant. So he's sitting at the dinner table, and especially nowadays, families don't really sit at dinner tables and talk. And if they do, if they do sit at the table, they're on their phones. They're not talking to each other. But he looked at each one of his children and he asked, "What did you do today to earn your place in the world?" That is my favorite quote ever. You know what? I love it so much that I almost want to fucking tattoo it on myself. That's what every man should be asking himself at the end of the day. What did I do today to earn my place in the world? If you didn't do anything, that's a problem, right? So yeah, take that and use that. Think about it every day. Use it as a journaling prompt at the end of your day. What did I do today to earn my place in the world? It's, you know, I think it's a good message. But yeah, we're supposed to make a difference. We're supposed to serve. And what do we do? How do we do that? When we get up, we need to think about that. What am I going to do today? How am I going to help the world? How am I going to help my family? How am I going to help myself? How am I going to help my community, my place of employment, all of that stuff. So men in relationships and family. A strong man isn't just valuable in the workplace or in society. He's essential at home. A husband who is present, engaged, and committed makes all the difference in a marriage. A father who teaches, disciplines, and loves his children sets them up for success. Too many people downplay the importance of fathers, but the stats don't lie. Kids with active fathers are more likely to succeed in school, stay out of trouble, and grow up with confidence and purpose. Being a father isn't just about being there. It's about being involved, 100%. And that's what I mean. At the beginning of this is what I was trying to talk about. My dad was around. But the time that we spent, he grew up in a household, and this isn't an excuse for him, but he grew up in a household of where my grandfather was gone most of the week. Actually, for I think extended periods of time. And when he came home, my father and my uncles took off because they had a fatherless household and they were out doing shit they shouldn't be doing and not acting right in school and everything else. So when dad came home, or my grandfather, it was like ass whooping time. Like he got the reports all week of all the shit they did, and out the door they all went. So my childhood, my relationship with my father is a very awkward and uncomfortable relationship. And as far as being taught things and spending a lot of time or having a good relationship with him really is not there. So that's why I was looking for my male role models around the community. And sadly, a lot of the male role models I found were not good male role models. I will say the one thing I got from my dad is my work ethic. My work ethic is probably a lot better than a lot of other men's. Where I was basically taught to work till you can't move and then work some more. So, and especially with my job that I do, I'm not a first responder, but I guess an emergency responder. You're talking about, I've worked 30 hours straight, especially during a hurricane, 30 hours straight, till I finally crashed out in my hotel, and when I woke up, didn't even know what day it was, where the fuck I was, any of that, to that level of exhaustion, right? And I'm not saying that's healthy. It's really not healthy. My idea years ago when I had my, I guess I'll call my personal crisis, My solution was to get 4 fucking jobs. That was my solution. My idea was if I kept my mind busy, I wouldn't have time to like worry about shit. Well, that now I was worrying about shit and I was exhausted from working 4 fucking jobs, so that didn't work. But yeah, that's what I got from him. So I looked elsewhere. Didn't find good examples. Not that I did anything terrible. Just not people that you really want to look up to. So that's and I just kind of drifted along for years up until a couple years ago until I think it finally took a toll on me. Some life changes had happened, and I didn't know how to appropriately respond as a man to those, or as a husband or a father. No, obviously I'm not a cheater. I don't give a fuck how bad things are. I'm not a cheater. But it was some other stuff. Anger, frustration, things of that nature. So anyway, with that said, at the end of the day, men matter. Not because we say so, but because reality proves it. When men step up, society thrives. When men shrink back, things fall apart. This world needs strong, disciplined, honorable men who take responsibility, lead with integrity, and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Strong men create good times. Weak men create bad times. That's just how it goes. So wherever you are in your journey, remember this. You have value. You have purpose. And the world needs you to show up as the best version of yourself. With that said, this is where I'm going to leave you for today. Be the man you were meant to be. Have a great week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of that stuff. I hope you're here and you're ready and you like the new version of the Basic Dude podcast. Moving forward, things probably will not be this intense. But I felt like this is really what I needed to say today. And I really appreciate you listening. So have a great rest of your day and really have a great week. And we will see you back here next Monday morning.